Hello there, and in this video I'm finally going to get round to putting the new interior into VEP. So I'm hoping the weather's going to hold off today because it is looking a little bit dark and murky, but what's that rattling? Stop it. The weather's looking a little bit dark and murky, but fingers crossed it'll stay dry long enough for me to get the seats in. Anyway, Kitch has told me apparently that the worst seats are the ones at the rear, so we'll get cracking with those first. But wait, I hear you cry, this car's only done 24,000 miles and it has a completely original interior. Why on earth would you want to change the seats? Well, yes, it does have an original interior. I think Kitch described it as painfully original. I'd actually describe it as excruciatingly original. And I'm going to show you why now. So we'll start with the back seat, which on first inspection really doesn't look too bad at all. Now, this sort of material I think is called a houndstooth jersey cloth. It was the original top end trim for the 16 TRS, and when the vehicle was put in front of consumer opinion groups, nobody liked it, and Citroen being Citroen, they just ignored them and put it on sale anyway. They did eventually add tweed as an option for the TRS, and then if I remember correctly, I can't remember what year it is now, I'll put it up on screen now because otherwise people will go, boo, I'm getting it wrong. Tweed became the standard trim for the TRS, but initially it was this houndstooth jersey cloth, and it's actually, although you know consumer groups go, ooh, it was actually quite nice. I think this trim was also originally used in the GSA, or this material rather. The problem with it is that unfortunately, although it's quite nice and soft, it's also about as durable as tissue paper. Even fairly early examples of these cars had ripped seats with this material, and after being exposed to UV for 40 years, there's pretty much nothing left of this. I mean, you might be able to see there, that's not dirt. What you can see there is where the fabric is so thin it's actually getting down to the foam base, and if you put your hand on it, you may not be able to hear it because I'm wearing my mic, but it crinkles like tissue paper and you can just hear it all slowly giving up. They're still lovely and wonderful and soft, but yeah, so the back seats are particularly bad, especially when you get up here. I mean, this is an extreme example of how, you know, how paper thin they've gone after exposure to UV. So those are the rear seats, and then as for the fronts, well, you're ready for this. I will show you the horrors that lurk beneath the seat covers. So pull this off the driver's seat and you will get an idea just how little original seat material is left. Look, yeah, they are pretty dreadful. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the camera down and I'm just going to remove the seat covers and everything in its entirety so you can see the overall condition of these seats as they are at the moment and why I'm going to replace them. So as you can see, they are in pretty rough shape really. There's nothing left of the original seat base at all. That has pretty much just dissolved and disappeared. The foam is all mostly intact, I think, and these probably could be reused. Now, I'm not getting rid of these seats either because the long-term intention is to try and get them recovered in some way, either by putting the 1984 model year Donegal tweed in it, which was only put in for 1 year, or perhaps seeing if I can get a custom run of this fabric done in the correct sort of original unknackered finish, or seeing if I can get this material just sort of redone basically, because it would be nice, because there's so few of these Mark 1 BXs left anyway, and there's virtually none that I've seen that have got a nice version of this interior. Even though it may not be in an exact match, it would be nice to see if I could perhaps get a more durable version of this material made that would last. But I don't know, I'm going to have a think about it. That's for a later day anyway. So I'm going to get set up and we're going to get cracking on those rear seats. And like I say, Kitch has told me that apparently the bolts at the back of these like to seize for fun. So I'm sure there'll be some swearing and some crying before I manage to get on with anything. The fronts I know he's already had out because I've seen them in previous pictures, so fingers crossed they won't be too bad. Anyway, I'm waffling. Let's get on with it. Right, you're going to have to forgive me, I don't have the largest amount of room in which to work here, so in fact I might actually start by sliding those front seats all the way forward, just to give me a little bit more room. There we go. Right, that's a little better. Right, so we need to get this seat base up first, which, if I remember correctly, is a slightly strange affair because it's tucked in underneath. I think there's a little lever you pull, and then, there we go, that comes forwards. Right, okay. So, oh dear, that's exposed something under there, and it looks like I've got 1, 2, 3. I wonder what size they're going to be. I'm going to say it's either going to be 10 or 13 mil. I think they're 13 mil. Okay, let's see if I can get these undone. See if I'm right. Were they 13s? They were. Well, these are coming off easy enough, so I can only assume these aren't the ones that Kitch was warning me about. I think it must be the other ones. Yes, I could have done with parking this over a little bit further, but I'm kind of stuck for width whichever way I go, unfortunately. Come on. Oh God, that one's tight. Oh no, it's come. Right. I think that's all that's holding the seat base in. See if I'm right. Feels like it. Oh, no, is there something else? Or is that it? Nope, that's it. Right, okay. Oh, some washers that have made a bid for freedom. I'll grab those in a second. I knew this was going to be a fairly dignified process, trying to get this sorted. All right, let's put them back on there for now. And I'm also, just so I don't lose them for the moment, going to stick the bolts back onto their original fixings as well, so that I don't lose those. Now, the next question is, how exactly does this rear bench come out? I do have a Haynes manual, but obviously I've not looked at it because, you know, why would I? Oh right, okay. I've got to pull the rear carpet up, I think, to get to those bolts by the looks of things. So it looks like it's on a metal hinge in here. It's going to be loads of fun putting that back in. Right, so looks like there's a little, does look like that carpet's designed to be teased out past that so that it can be lifted. There we go. Just pull it out sideways. There we go again. And pull it out sideways. And there we go again. I don't think I need to roll it all the way back, just enough to expose these bolts. Now these are the ones I think Kitch was warning me about, and there's a good chance that these are going to be rusted and an absolute swine to undo. So just need to find something to hold that bit of carpet back for a moment. There we go, just keep that out of my way. Right, let's see what size these are then. They are not 13 mil, they look like 10 to me. There are a few bits I need to transfer off these seats as well, like these parcel shelf brackets are in much better condition than on the seats that I've got. So, well, that one's doesn't show any evidence of being horrible or rusty. Assuming it's actually coming undone, of course. Slightly concerned actually, because I don't think the bracket that's on my seats, the rear seats I bought, looks as good as this. I do wonder whether I may have to transplant this. We'll have to see. Alright, so there's one bolt that's come out without any problems. Can't be all that's holding these seats on. Unless it's just that and gravity. Let this back up for a moment. I think it is all that's holding these seats on, you know. June by the... Yeah, that's it. That's all that's holding these rear seats in. That's amazing. It's a very, very thin piece of metal, really, for that job. I suppose it is. I mean, it's anchored in these brackets once it's clipped back, but it's still remarkably not much for something that's... now have I got my first tricky one. Yeah, they look progressively more corroded towards that end of the car. So I could be in for some fun and games here. Maybe. They're not stripping out or anything though. They're coming out nice and easy. Yeah, that one's fine. It's maybe a tiny bit rusty, but nothing too major. They do go through the body, so I guess I can see why that might be the case. Just going to go around the other side. If these all come out in one piece, I'm going to send a smug video to Kitch. So they go, oh, these all snap, these do. Uh-oh. There we go. The moment I got cocky, this is now getting very tight. Although, to be fair, it has also now, I think, got all the weight of the seat on it, so that might be why. If this comes straight out, then he's probably going to be annoyed with me. That's come straight out, I think. Shall we? Right. Let's lift that out. Ooh. Now, what I think I'm going to do, rather than... Ooh, car's going down. Rather than putting the rear seats in straight away now, I actually think I'm going to crack on and get these front ones out as well, because without the rear seat in the way, I've got a bit more room, frankly, to do what I need to do. So I will put the rear seat in last. I want to get both of those driver's seats out first, I think, before I do anything else. So it'll just give me a little bit more room inside the car, really, to work. Yeah, because I can potentially then take both the seats out through the tailgate, you see, rather than having to try and squeeze them through the doors. So, well, see, I do some thinking occasionally, me, not often, admittedly, and not always most logically, but yeah. I get a little bit of thinking in from time to time. So, right, let's figure out what these are that are held in. They're not going to be, oh, French, of course they'd be, they're Allens, aren't they? Because why wouldn't they be Allens? I mean, what possible reason would you want to put ordinary fixings in when you can have Allens? Right, I better go and see if I've got any Allen key bits now. Okay, I have found a suitable Allen, which I've now just put down, obviously. Oh, there it is. I'm not going to bother trying to record the front because, quite frankly, you're not going to be able to see. So there is literally no point. It's just one Allen bolt up front each side. Thank you, Kitch, for not over-tightening these. Ha, that doesn't belong to me. Mr. Kitch, I think I found something that belongs to you. Well, not that you're going to want it back. That's definitely not mine. Oh, this is interesting, isn't it? This is, of course, assuming you can actually even still hear me. There's actually a way to make this a darn sight easier, I think. Oh, never mind. I'm in the groove now. It's not going to make the rear ones any easier. I've just remembered you can actually take the seat bases out of these seats, which makes installing them and removing them easier, but sod it. I've started this ridiculous way, so I shall continue. Right, let's slide them all the way forwards. That's going to be the other question, is where are these seats in terms of their runners on the other side, because that could make life fun. Speaking of making life fun, how the hell are you supposed to access that fastener? I can get to that one. How do I get to that one? How do you get to that one? Unless you've got to do it with the seat all the way back and the base up, maybe. Alright, so let's just try unclipping this base. Should just be 2 metal clips. You can basically, the entire squab out, that trapped my finger, comes out. He says it comes out reluctantly, it would seem. Oh no, hang on a minute, there's something. Of course, the seat backs are elasticated on, aren't they? Right. Oh, there we go. Right, can withdraw that now. See if that makes life any easier. No, it doesn't help me at all, I don't think. Not to access that other. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe it does. Oh yeah, now I can access it, look. See all the foam, look, just dissolving, going all over my nice Whiteland Restorations hoodie. Actually, getting in that one still might be a bit of a challenge. My bit is slightly too long there. Oh, great. How am I going to get in that one then? That one's no bother, and that one's no bother. My tool is too long to get in there. It just occurred to me I'm supposed to be having a haircut in a bit, and my hairdresser is going to wonder why on earth I've got lots of orange fluff in it. Oh God. Oh no. It's not the most elegant way to undo a bolt, but I'm getting there now. It's starting to turn. I might see if I've got an Allen key anywhere later, maybe, just to get that one out. Yeah, it's not the best combination of bits I've ever tried to use. Let's just pop that off now, because I might be able to. Yeah, I can undo it by hand, I think. Yeah. Even the extension's getting in the way now. I'm trying to undo it. So that's a awkwardly placed bolt. I wonder whether, just to inform myself for the other side more than anything else, what happens if I just wondering if that helps me in any way, shape or form. Just raising that, I don't think it does. I think that bit stays where it is, I think. Yeah, it does. So yeah, that bolt there is an absolute pain in the arse to get to. By the way, Kitch, that's not mine. Yes, I think I'll have to see if I can find. I've got some Allen keys somewhere, I'm sure I have. Let's see if I can find one. Sorry, I've got no idea what the sound is going to be like. It's probably all just going to be all rustling because this microphone is right up against me. That washer has made a bid for freedom onto the original cellophane. We'll talk about that in a bit because I really don't know what to do with this. It's another one of those painfully original aspects of this car. It's fantastic that it's here, but it really is starting to go quite manky and just hoarding horrible stuff underneath. It may even be that I just take it up and then clean it up and put it back down, so I've kept the original cellophane. But there's stuff just lurking on the edges and underneath now it's not pleasant. So we'll see. Okay, that I think should be free. Oh no, it isn't. There's a bolt there, you Denzel. That would have been embarrassing, wouldn't it, if I'd been on camera going, why doesn't it come up? Because you've not actually looked at what you're doing. I'm glad I didn't bother trying to hoover this car before I started this job, because these seats are just absolutely disintegrating at the moment. Oh my God. I've just seen the bits of foam on my top. What a mess. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, don't go there, because then I won't be able to find you later. Right. Okay. Okay then, let's see if we can haul this seat out. Oh, that's come out nice and easy. They're not too heavy, to be fair. I might be able to get this one out through this door, actually. Whee, steady. Ugh. Ha. Ooh, don't knacker the headlining, Dave. All the paint on the door. Oh, there we go. Whew. It's like weight reduction, this is. Okay, let's get the passenger one out. I may as well just sort of suffer with the path in life that I've chosen. I'll tell you something else. I'm going to run the whole hoover around the inside of this before the seats go back in. I would quite like to wet vac it, but it is, I think it's January the 3rd today, and even if it sits in the garage, it's going to just take forever to dry. The new seats I've bought could do with being wet vacked as well, and again, I will do that, but I think I'm going to wait until the weather's a bit better. Sorry, I'm a bit out of breath after that. Right, now I need to take what I've learned from the first one and take the seat base off first before I try and take the seat out. The good news is, I've got all this extra access to do the job this time. Right, let's make sure this car's in gear, because the last thing I want to do is pull the bloody handbrake off. Right, or knock the handbrake off rather. So that's height adjustment. Let's rock this seat back all the way up, because I think it may just help me. Anyway, apologies by the way if I'm having to blur any bottom or underpants today. It's a distinct possibility that you may accidentally see some of my arse. And now, no, I'm gonna have to do that from a lower view. I can't do it from there. Bugger. Right. Okay, let's see if I've left myself enough room, which I know I already know I haven't. Okay, I have got enough room, just provided I'm careful. So these don't seem to be up as high at the front here. Oh, I'm doing the wrong one. The new seats I've bought, by the way, annoyingly don't have this adjustment on them, which is a bit of a shame. I might see at some point if I can swap them back over to these frames, but I think it's fairly involved. So for now, I'm just going to have to go with what we've got. Right, so unclip that, unclip that. Can I undo that elastic from here? I can, there we go. Should make this a bit easier to extract. I'll take that out anyway. There we go, that gives me a bit more, that gives me a lot more room to access the front ones, to be fair, than I had when I did the other side. Yeah, probably make putting the seat in easier to do it that way. I think the main takeaway everybody's going to have from this is how out of blooming shape I am. I'll do a simple task like this and huffing and puffing. Huff and Puff, incidentally, is the name of my folks' narrowboat. It's quite appropriate because they are very, very, very windy people, my parents. Although it does run in the family, we're all quite windy. I know they watch this, so that's why I'm getting that in. I should have dragged you a bit further forward, really, shouldn't I, so you could have seen what I was doing, but never mind. It's really not that interesting. I know where my phone is. Where's my phone? I will give you a brief view of what I'm doing, actually. Here you are, this is a better view of what's going on at the moment. I've just noticed I've got something, I'm hoping that's grease. It doesn't smell very pleasant, whatever it is, but that's come off the inside of whatever I'm doing here. So yeah, I'm just undoing, I've undone one fastener, I'm just undoing that other fastener now. And then we'll get to the rear ones, including that really, really awkward one. Ooh. Oh, this is so dignified. Right, so, same job under here. We'll try and do the awkward one first, actually. Assuming I can't get a... Yeah, definitely can't get a regular bit on there. In fact, you know something, I'm going to go and see if I can find the right size Allen key, because I'm going to need it to do the other side up properly. Alright, see if I can find a... Move that before I put my knee on it and screech on camera. See if I can find myself a 5mm Allen somewhere amongst all this lot. Hopefully. They're not labelled, of course, because that would just be helpful. My micrometer is not working that well. Okay, I think that's it. So that's the way I want to go, towards that console. You watch, this is where I'll find out this is mega tight. No, it's not too bad. Again, thank you, Kitch, for not over tightening these, because particularly these harder to access ones, that would have made life pretty tricky. I've already shot way too much footage, you know. I'm probably going to have to find a way to edit this down to about 20 minutes. On average, I shoot at least an hour of stuff when I'm tinkering on a car, which is stupid really, because I don't wind up using most of it. And I've got a 12TB NAS that is currently rapidly running out of storage space. In fact, I think it already has run out of storage space. And of course I never get rid of any footage either, so I've currently got videos for the channel going all the way back to 2019, which I still haven't edited. It's almost like I need to get a bit more organised. This one's like 20 times longer than the rest, come on! I say, they are all the same length, aren't they? Oh, I've lost the washer now. There we go. Right. Let's slide you this one out. Right. Oh. And again, let's try and do this without trashing the headlining or anything else. Okay, oh, that's where the grease has come from. Oh. Right, so that's the seats out, and I think before I do anything further else at all, I'm going to clear all my gubbins out of here, and I'm going to give this a bloody good vacuum. Right then, I think that's going to have to do for now. It's starting to rain, so I need to get the old seats back inside the house, and then I've got to go and grab a haircut. So yes, it is a haircut in the middle of a video and not a visual continuity problem. Anyway, I'll be back in a bit. Right, so I'm back with a fresh new haircut, and I'm dealing with now what is turning to be the most awkward part of it, which is I need to get these cushions out, and they're held in, as far as I can tell, with one bolt, which is naturally hidden behind all of this trim, because French. It sort of feels like it's coming away, but it feels like it's still being held by something up there that I can't see. Is there another? Now I might be able to see. So is that what's holding that? I don't think it is actually. It's something else holding that. That's very firm there, so I need to figure out what's holding that bit of trim on. Is it that? Have they literally just hidden a screw head underneath that? Because that's what it looks like. It should be very French. These are already scratched to within an inch of their lives, but it looks like there's a screw there I've got to get at somehow. I love these cars, but they are also filled with bits of monumentally stupid design. There we go. That's going to be fun to put back in later. Right, let's see if that's what was holding it. Looks like it. Yeah, it was. Right, so that should allow me, I'll show you now the bolt that I couldn't see with the phone. So there you are, there's the bolt I was trying to get to. But like I say, why on earth the French decided to hide that right on the edge of where that is, I have no idea. There must have been a better way than that to do it. But because French. Anyway, enough ranting, let's get this unbolted. Good news is, it all looks quite solid back there. Yeah, which is nice to see. And this all looks nice and solid down here. I suppose this gives me an opportunity to lift the boot floor. Yeah, it all looks nice and solid. It's not so solid back there, I know, so I need to... It's quite crusty, I think, on the back of the... sort of on the edge of the boot, but... Yeah, the bit on the boot floor where you can usually put your fingers through, it's solid. So this back panel is crusty. Actually, I think before I do anything else, I'm going to have a bit more hot brown. That's nice. That's handy. That one's got a captive washer on. That's better. Much prefer that. Right, momentous moment now, he says. Right, okay, so let's come out. Oh, so it slides that way and then pulls up, presumably. Come on. Come on, there we go. Right, so it's the first piece of trim going out, and then the first new piece of trim going back in. Now I'm assuming the vinyl faces towards the seats. That would seem logical to me. Wrong sized spanner, or do I just use the I'll use the nut that came with it. Never hurts to have extra nuts to hand. See, innuendo's done better when it actually comes out a bit quicker. This one seems a little bit stiffer actually. So I wound the other one off quite happily by hand. Right, so I'm assuming I've got this the right way round. So, a little plug bit at the bottom. So that slides into there, I assume. Align that with that, push it in. Push that as far down as it will go. And then, there we go, that looks about right, I think. Yeah, that's in. And squidged together, right. And one of the two nuts I was using, either will do. Apologies, I'm probably now displaying things I shouldn't be. But hey, isn't that what the internet's all about? Also mindful that the weather's starting to look a little more threatening, and I have got to get those nice new seats actually in. Go. Right, so there we go, momentous moment. First new trim piece is in place. Slide it back underneath the piece of trim that was already there. It seemed to come out easy enough that way, so we'll put it back in that way. There we go. These are also remarkably minor fasteners for such important bits of trim, which again I think is typically French. You know, if this was any other brand of car, you'd have way more fasteners back there. He says, as he now realises he can't find the screw. Ah, you see now. You see what I would have done there, ladies and gentlemen? I would have lost tools. The other thing I've learned with French fasteners is don't over tighten them, because you'll just strip them straight back out again. It's not my finest bit of trim fitting I think I've ever done, but you know, it's crap design. I will see if I can get another one of these. I think, well, like I say, I'll have these out properly, because I'm going to fit rear seat belts to this eventually, and when I do, I'll have those to bits and do a better job of them. But there we go, that bit of trim's back in, so I've now just got the same job to repeat on this side. Take all these bits out because they're going to fall out anyway. This is the crusty side. Yeah, this is the crusty side, unfortunately, where I'm going to have some work done. What's going to happen with that then? Has that just got a connector or something I can just unplug? That, because there we go. Come on. All this to replace two tiny bits of bloody trim. Right, okay. Look away, viewers. Impatience has got the better of me. There we go, it's off now. Okay, so let's deal with the stupid screw first. I mean, I'm calling it the stupid screw. I could just be the one that's being stupid by not understanding how just to lever this out. But it just doesn't seem to want to. Hang on. Ow. I'll tell you one thing, if it does come out, it's going to be an absolute swine to push it back in. I mean, look at that. Bending the tool almost in its entirety. Well, now it's broken. God's sake. Oh yeah, broke that one. Broke that one, good and proper, never mind. Good job there's no seatbelt there at the moment, is there? I suppose breaking bits of trim on a 40-year-old French car was an inevitability. But that's a little frustrating. Arguably my fault. Well, no, there is no arguing about it. It was my fault, but still, a little annoying. I think that's the first bit of VEP I've broken. Right, so with that, I'm not going to move that too far because it's got things plugged into it. So I'm just going to prop that there for the moment. Probably really shouldn't be doing this because if I prod too hard, I'm probably going to find something I don't want to see. Okay, I'm not prodding it. That's it. That's as far as I'm prodding for now. No more prodification going to occur. Leave it alone. Focus on the job that you're doing. All right. Especially as the weather's moving in. Right. Okay. Slide that out. Get that up. This this door's not open, which might make this a little bit more of a challenge. There we go. That one's out. Right, I just need to go and get the other bit of trim now. Yeah, that's the right wheel. Slidey, slidey. You into the bottom of there. Okay, that feels like that's in. That goes down. That goes in and across. As Peter Kay would say, it's spitting. Not too bad though, not yet anyway. It'll save the proper deluge for when I'm trying to get the rear seats in. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. This is like the longest bolt in the world, this is. Oh no, it is tightening. There we go, it's in. Whew, finally. Right, let's get this piece of interior French glory back in. There's that weird thing that almost looks like it's a... There was a bottle of, I think he said it was screen wash, and it just reacted weirdly with the carpet, and it's just congealed into a horrible mass like that. Get rid of that while I'm here. I will be taking this entire bit of carpet out, I think. In fact, I may even recarpet these because these are just horrible. And they've got to come out to do the work back here anyway. Because, like I say, this rear quarter, depending on what I wind up doing, may well wind up needing to be completely re-spot welded. Re-spot welded. May be that I wind up having to get a new panel. Right, something doesn't quite feel right in this corner for some reason. Just make sure I'm not out. That's probably not helping. As long as it's sort of in, I can always adjust later. Right, we're making progress. Let's crack on. Right, I've done enough waffling really for one video, and as you've already seen me take them out, you pretty much know what the reversal of that process is going to be. So I think I'm going to shut up, get on with the job, and then we'll see what the end result looks like. that last clip is really not wanting to cooperate, which is a bit annoying. Oh, there we go, it's gone, it's gone, it's in. It's in. It's in. Right. Let's better go on with the back ones now before it absolutely belts it down. Yeah, the weather's moved in now, so I've officially run out of messing about time. Not because I'm too bothered about getting wet, but I didn't really want to get VEP wet if I could at all avoid it. But that said, I knew that weather probably wasn't going to play ball with me today, and I don't have a nice dry workshop to retreat to either, which would be nice. Maybe one day, but certainly not at the moment. Right, so that needs to go down there. So something else that needs to happen. These bits of plastic here need a quick clean. Ugh. Right, so this is the bit there. Right, so this was the bit I was worried about because I said it looked different, but I think the conclusion I came to is it just needed turning out. It's a shame about this back plate, it is a bit battered compared to the one that's in VEP, and again I might look at swapping these over at some point, but right now I just haven't got that. I haven't got the luxury of messing about. I need to get this in and done now because of the weather. Let's see if that folds up, which it does. Does it latch? Does it latch? It did that side. It's not that side for some reason. Why are you not latching that side then? Or could it be that this mechanism's broken? Because that doesn't seem to be doing a great deal either. Yeah, it looks like that latching mechanism's broken. Excellent. Okay, well, it's not going to go anywhere for now, I don't think. That's going to need to be looked at. So, okay, they're in, but not as securely as they could be. I mean, like I say, it's not going to go anywhere that side, but I'm not so happy that side. It's absolutely pissing it down now. Excellent. Never mind. Right, let's get this last part of the seat in, shall we? Right, you probably really can't see now. I'm fighting the weather, so I'm just going to crack on, to be perfectly honest with you. We're in the last roads of it now. It does look 1000% better. Right, get those bits over here for a minute. Put the headrests in. And then I'll take a moment to reflect on my absolute incapability to get a job done in a sensible time frame. which is a little bit of a shame. Right, they're in. Okay. Foot on brake pedal. It's a bit neutral. I'm just going to roll you backwards. Get you out of the rain. A shame about the weather today, but can't be helped. I don't know if I'm doing the wrong thing actually by bringing a wet car in. I mean, it's not been driven on the road wet, it's just bodywork wet, but I'm sure there'll be somebody going, no, don't do that. You'll be, you know, you'll run the risk of causing yourself a problem. Yeah, so there's definitely something not quite right here, because that's where the seat should be latching. Yeah, unfortunately, I perhaps should have checked this before I tried to fit it. I can see that there's a pin inside there that looks very broken. That's presumably meant to latch into there. I'll have a look and see if I can see why we've got the problem. Alright, so, oh yeah, that's very broken. That's very, very broken indeed inside there. Yeah, that's not going to do a great deal of anything, I'm afraid, that side. Yeah, there's nothing there for it to latch onto. So that's a bit of a shame. So at the moment I can only latch the seat on one side and the mechanism is broken. So it looks like at some point in the not too distant future this is going to have to come out to be redone. What I might do in the short term is see if I can find a way to cable tie this to that, just so that it doesn't flap about, because I'm unlikely, if I'm honest, to be folding the seats flat in this car to do any DIY carrying, and I don't have any intention of carrying any rear passengers at the moment because there's no rear seat belts. So I'll probably go with a temporary solution, as you know we often joke about in the community for now, and then see if I can come up with something better and more permanent later on down the line. But yeah, that's a shame really. I've also, like I say, I've got a little bit of bagginess that keeps creeping in on the driver's seat, so again, not unexpected. I mean, they're old seats. I might just see if there's something I can do to take care of that. Anyway, I'm going to close this part of the video up now, and then I'll do, hopefully, another insert with a daylight shot of what the interior looks like, because it does look so much better. Right then, so it's the end of the interior swap video, and those amongst you who may have watched another video recently will know that some time has passed since me fitting these seats and actually getting round to recording this. And that's because, like a complete clot, I forgot to record a proper outro when I did the original interior fitting video. And the reason I wanted to record this crucially was to actually thank Jim McGill for helping source these seats. These came out of a I think it was a Citroen BX Leader that had only done 14,000 miles, and I believe they'd been stored by a friend of his, Rob, in his loft for 20 years, which is why they are so nice. Because believe me, finding nice early shape seats like this for a BX is almost impossible. So to get some that are so wear-free and in such cracking condition, Okay, they might not be exactly the right seats for this car, but I don't think most people would know, and they really do fit this really well. I will at some point, I think, swap the frames over, because these leader frames don't have the height adjustment that the old ones had. But yeah, it's totally transformed the look of this car, and already people that have seen it at shows like at Rustival have commented on what a difference it's made, along with some other things that you might have seen in videos as a cheeky preview, but I haven't yet put the process out for sorting the bumpers out and a few other bits and pieces, but that's by the by anyway. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, or at least managed to suffer through, my interior fitting. Believe me, a hell of a lot of footage got cut out of that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in another one. And I think the next video in the VEP prep for Rustival that's already passed, not the September one, this was the March one, this series that I'm doing at the moment. The next video, I believe, that of the VEP prep series that's coming out is where I do the service. Look forward to that, because I do something very stupid that you shouldn't do with one of these. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in another one. Cheerio!